Yo, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? And today, y'all know this is kind of a little bit different. I usually don't do this type of format, this type of like a reaction or like a review video like this. But then we got to talk about really quick about Nikke, right? Now, this is a review of Nikke. Now, I feel like I put a certain like decent amount of time play Nikke to actually like get to know about Nikke and like to, really get my full input on it and how I actually think about it. You know what I'm saying? Like coming like as a tourist. I literally am. It's been a couple of months. We got into Nikke, and then you gotta get past the gooning. I'll be honest, you gotta get past the gooning, and then we get past the gooning. It's just magic. It's magic, man. Like, I am a guy who play tons of video games. If you guys don't know me, first of all, a lot of video games, and I love RPG. I love all of that stuff, anime, all that good stuff. But sometimes you gotta keep it to like, keep it to a surface level, right? And then when you actually think about it, my God, is the game great? Oof. Is the game so good? So now, before that, let's talk about the music of Goddess of Victory. Now, Goddess of Victory, the music is so freaking good. Now, is it like beyond the expectation level to where it's like really fully diverse? It's kind of not. I'm gonna be totally honest, right? But then it's so good to the point where it can hype you up and it can make you feel things like, oh my God.
やろうか。ダメよ。ニケがニケを処分することはできないもの。指揮官、ぐずぐずしている暇はありません。このまま放置すればイレギュラーになる可能性が高くなります。指揮官、
This game might be one of the very few gacha games that I actually literally, I'll be honest, I don't really shed tears like that. One of the few games that I actually shed a tear. Now, you guys can watch my VOD and see all about that. I've already posted on my VOD, but my God, is it so good. Okay, so enough of me being going a little off track right there, but let's talk about the story of Nikke. So the beginning story of Nikke, you're going off about with Marianne, you're going off about all of this, and then you gotta meet Rappy and them, you gotta meet the crew. And I think Nikke does such a wonderful job at how do you say, like, building the character story and building like all of the personality with every single character, every single unit that you could find. And I think that that's like one of the best thing about Nikke is how I could see a character, even though it's an NPC character, a 3-star character at that point, and I even know kind of like the background of that character, and it's interesting. They're just not there. They're not just the NPC, and I think that's the beauty of it, Nikke. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're so good at writing the story and connecting all the dots in Nikke. Now, I will say I'm fortunate enough to have my viewers like you guys, right, and to actually guide me to play Nikke in a way to where it's chronological order, so that way I could kind of like fully understand things. But then I think that's kind of like one of the downfall, but also one of a good thing about what Nikke done. So I can only imagine all of the people that had to wait about years and years before they could actually line up the stories, and I think that would be kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like, that would kind of suck. So I do feel for all of y'all, you know what I'm saying? So I think right now with the new mode plus that they just did, right, with the new game, beginner friendly, whatever, that you could go in there, just finish the story, and you just go in there. You don't have to have like a power wall that, you know what I'm saying, that just kind of like gatekeep you, which one thing that I really hate about Nikke. But then they did that to where I think it's such a good thing, because the strongest aspect of Nikke is definitely the story and the voice acting. So beside me like going off a little tangent there, and again, I'm sorry, I do get a little sidetracked because I'm just so excited to review and talk about Nikke after all of the experience and all of the you know what I'm saying, like the journey that we went through. Going back to the story, so after Marianne, you go through all of that, and you go through, you see the enemies play such a crucial role, and they give you such like a crazy feeling where you're just like, man, I wish that guy would just like off the planet, you know what I'm saying? But then it's just like they keep coming back, and then they play such a good role to be a bad guy. Now, even though for a game like Nikke, for it to just be like pointing, shooting, and clicking, like, that's really not my thing. But I've come into turn to where that's just kind of like there for you to like play around a little bit. And again, I will go back to saying that Nikke definitely is like, they do shine on the story aspect. Even though it's just like a little kinetic visual novel, you know what I'm saying? You get the talking here, you get the talking here, you switch off panels between the character talking, but they do it in a way to where I myself become a little bit speechless a little bit. There's plenty of times you guys can watch my VOD again. You guys could watch it. It's just I get speechless. It's so amazing. Even though the music is kind of repetitive, I will say that, but then it's repetitive in a good way to where I could listen to it and I don't get tired of it. Some people probably will get tired of it, but for me, I think it's beautiful because the more I listen to it, and then when that music come back on, even in like the new event coming up, right, with the Goddess of Fall, and you hear this repetitive old, you know what I'm saying, like Lilith's like music, and you get all of that, and you're just, it throws you back, and you're just like, wow, like holy shit, like we back to this, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like seeing like a childhood friend, and to see that how fucked up it is. And I really appreciate this one thing about Nikke, what Nikke does compared to all of the other gacha games. Now, other gacha games I played a lot, Wuthering Wave, all of the other games, you know what I'm saying? Like Wuthering Wave is one of my biggest games, but then it's just like, I appreciate Nikke for sticking to his roots after years, and since this is their 3rd year anniversary, they still stuck to their root. And this is how you do a story like really, really well, because Nikke, I was intrigued by how dark it is. Now, not every game has to be dark. Not every game has to be happy. Not every game has to be like that, right? You can mix it, match a little bit, but Nikke does it in a way to where it's dark enough just to the point where you can see blood and you can see all it. It makes it feel real. It makes it feel not too PG. It makes it not like it's catering to little kids. You know, like that could be a thing. I don't know if y'all into that, but for me, Nikke, the character is so charming. They got no filter, and I'm like, these are adults. You know what I'm saying? And then like with the game pushes that, and the game actually, you know, tell the story in that type of way, and you can see like heads flying and shit, and I'm just like, oh my god. So I'm very, very happy that the game stuck to that, and the game did change to like the more gooning aspect. Although Nikke does have like decent amount of gooning, but then I just think that it's there just for there, you know what I'm saying? And I'm very happy that as I played, that they cater more to the music, the voice acting, and the storytelling. You know, it's really good, and it's really dynamic. And coming as a new guy, you know, as a tourist, I was very intrigued. That's why I stuck to it. So with all of the build up with Nikke, how it's been coming up, I think the strongest suit of Nikke has definitely got to be the event. Like the event in Nikke, the Goddess of Victory, is, I love it how they tell so much foreshadowing. You get words, you get hidden messages, you get keywords, and you have to pay attention. So it's like the story and the dialogue of Nikke, whether it's an event, side quest, or whether, you know, it's just something little, but then they all cannot, how do you say, they all chain, they all combine, they all connect, and they all, you know, have to play a part in the main story. And I think that's one of the most important things about Nikke and what they do so well in the gacha space of telling this story. You know what I'm saying? Like, not every patch has to be gooning, not every patch has to be like butterflies, but you could do that too, sure. But then I love it how Nikke always ties a little bit of that key point in there, and it keeps you on your toes. Be like, might be all fun and happy right now, but you never know. You know what I'm saying? So I love it how they keep you on your toes. I love the suspense, and I love the reward after all of the build-up and all of the tension, all the hype, and it's just so good, so damn good. So I'm very happy I gave Goddess of Victory Nikke a try and actually like listen to the story, actually like pay attention to the character. So now let's talk about the voice acting, right? The music, I already talked about the music, not too much into it. Very good. The brand new music has been, oh my god, it's been really good. I love Crown's theme. I love all of that, right? It's so heroic, it's so dramatic, and it's so like, how do you say, like uplifting.
With a blade of steel, the warrior maiden awakens free. From jewels to outshine the dark, the crown's resolve is a fiery spark. In unity our spirits soar, and loyalty reigns forevermore.
But then there are so many sorrowful, like the piano. I think Nikke the main thing about Nikke's music to me has to be the piano. That piano is, oh my god, how it tugs your heart and how it plays with your feelings. It's so good. So that's one of the things I really like about it. And again, now, so off again, right? I talk a little bit tangent there again. I tend to do that, my bad. But then let's say, now for the VA. For the real diabolical question here. Have y'all give the voice actor in Goddess of Victory Nikke a raise? My god. Whew. One of the best, if not one of the top 5 for me. It could be different for a lot of folks. For the best gacha game with voice acting. Their voice is insane. And again, I'm gonna talk about this in this term, okay? Because everybody gets a little bit diabolical. Everybody gets a little too crazy about all of that stuff. But I don't care what language it is. I don't care what it is, right? Some people prefer different languages. But I feel like Goddess of Victory Nikke definitely nails every aspect in their voice acting lines. Now you could say because it's a kinetic novel and it could be just this, so they don't put too much into, like, you know, graphic and all that, so they have more time to put more they can emphasize a little bit more on their voice actors, right? They could put more effort into there. But I think that's an excuse. I think that's an excuse that a lot of gacha game, you know, people put off. But you know, I'm like, hey, you know what, it is what it is, whatever y'all like. But for me, my god is Goddess of Victory Nikke has the best VA. The thing about the VA is when they get into their moment, oh my god. Lord have mercy. May Lord have mercy. Whoever's playing, when you get to those parts, chat, viewers, all of y'all, everybody that loves Goddess of Victory, my god, y'all know what I'm talking about. My god. Like, I'm not even overreacting, man. That's insane. That's insane. The way how they could just, like, belt their voice out, the way how they could just put the raw emotion out, the way how they could just, like, scream into the microphone, the way they could just, you could hear the pain and all of that in their voices, right? And then you could just hear the way how they get so into character that you actually feel like that's an actual character, right? Like, that character is not reading off from a script. The character doesn't sound too monotone. The character doesn't sound none of that. And then when they get into that point, the key point, when they start getting a little crazy, I'm just saying, I get goosebumps. I get goosebumps. Holy shit. That's one of the things about Goddess Victory Nikke that really kept me in line. It really kept me paying attention to the story, definitely because of the voice acting. My God, Snow White, Red Hood, you know, Scarlet and her sister, and all the other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just so many to name. There's just so many to name. I think every single one is so good. Now let's talk about the final aspect, final key point. I know the video's been gone long enough. I'm kind of like, you know, review kind of new to this kind of stuff, but then hold on. I will say this. The final thing I will say about Goddess of Victory, Nikke, I heavily encourage new people to get off of the, like, don't focus too much on the gooning. Actually try to pay attention to like the story, and if you need help with like chronological order, I'm pretty sure Google and people that on the YouTube side for Nikke will definitely help you figure things out. And I know people kind of battle around there, right? Like they'll give you like different event that just doesn't match, but then it is what it is, right? But then I truly think you guys should all give this game a try. Give this game a try. Although I don't like the point that, how do you say, like you have to pull like multiple dupes of Nikke to actually pass that 200 wall. That was very bad. I do not like that. But then one good thing is they're very generous on the gacha. But does that mean that it's 100% gacha like free for you? No, it's not. Gacha is gonna be gacha, right? And I think they're super predatory and I don't like it. But then it is what it is, right? So that's all the other thing. But I heavily encourage to play this game. I heavily encourage for you guys to try it out and to actually pay attention to the music, pay attention to the story, pay attention to the voice acting. My God. And I am playing this in JP. Like, my God, it's just only I can't even put into words. That's how good it is. That's how good it is. And I'm not fully glazing the game, but then coming off from playing other different games, like not even gacha game, you got RPG games, you got like shooting games, you got like anime games, whatever, right? You got Digimon, Pokemons, all of that crazy stuff, Final Fantasy, all of that, Legend Dragoons, Chrono Cross. Nikke has definitely one of the, like, it raised the ladder for me of what's possible in being a voice acting in a video game like that. There's no excuse, zero excuse for big games to not even come close to this level at this point, right? Like, it is what it is. But new games are coming out. New games are slowly getting what's that new game called again? Tides of Annihilation. So many new games are coming out looking prettier and prettier. The combat mechanic is so crazy. And I think that, you know, like as game come out and as the future comes out, every game needs to step up in one aspect or another, right? Whether it be music, whether it be graphic, whether it be gameplay. You know, if you want to improve your looting, I don't know. But then for Nikke, I will say this one thing, right? As much as I enjoy Nikke, I hope that Nikke somehow find a way to make it more future proof. Because they done a really good job of updating ever since I played this game. And they have done updating with, like, you don't have to hit the 200 wall, whatever, right? You don't have to do all of that. You get a brand new mode. You could just hop in and play the story and enjoy the story. And that's one thing that I want to talk about too right there, is how the devs listen and the dev knows that the story is like one of the main selling key points. The reason why people stayed in Nikke. And I love it how they cater to that. And I want a lot of gacha games to actually think about shit and to actually do that too. You know what I'm saying? Like, to make it more future proof, to make either something more, you know, funner to play, or make it, you know, find like maybe more animation. I don't know. But then, like, I don't know what it is, right? But then it's just, I feel like it's missing something. It's missing something coming from a tourist like me, right? I feel like it's a lot of the loot plays are repetitive, and people that don't want to read, people don't want to listen to all of this stuff. I could see it not being too intriguing, right? It takes too much time, and it takes too much of your time, because people got to go work and people has a life. You know what I'm saying? Like, not many people could just sit down for like hours and hours on end to actually like listen to the story in Nikke. But I think if they could find a way to make it intriguing, find a way to, you know, do something. I don't know what it is, right? I'm not the dev. I don't know about that. But the game is very good. I heavily encourage people to play the game, and this is my review. But I will say, after months and months of playing, we finally grinded out, and we finally got to chapter 28, 29. I forgot. We just recently played the Goddess Fall event, and I will say that blew my mind. Blew my mind. I cannot wait to play and find out like what's coming up after. Like, they're very good at that. You know what I'm saying? They're very good at that. They make me want to come back and play. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's insane. Like, I want to know the story, and I'm happy that they're, you know, they doubling down on the story, and this is so good. Like, oh my god, it's so fucking good. The characters are so charming, So enough of me glazing the characters, enough of me glazing like the story and all of that with the voice acting. I really heavily encourage everybody to try this game out. Yeah, that's literally all I got. That's my final review of the game. Yeah, if you guys want to check anything out, go check out my VOD. Drop a like, subscribe. I don't know if y'all into that. But yeah, that's my final review of Nikke. I'm really happy that the game is going the route they're going, and I'm looking forward to more stuff for Nikke.